Okay, hello everybody, and welcome back to the next video on 3D printing. In the last video, we talked about should you buy a 3D printer and all the pros and the cons, and is that really the hobby for you? So if you've decided that 3D printing is for you, the next topic to talk about is which type of 3D printer. FDM, which is the spools of filament, um, fused deposition modeling, versus the resin printers. And just to jump right into it, it really comes down to a couple of things. On this side of the screen right here, this Statue of Liberty was printed with a resin printer. It's very clean, it's very sharp, it's very good details. And this one right here is printed with FDM printer. Now, before 100 people jump in the comments and go, well, I can make it print better than that. Yes, you can. Yes, you could absolutely spend the time to dial it in, but the case in point, and for the largest part of the truth being told, you're going to get much better quality prints out of resin printers than you're going to out of FDM printers. Now, the flip side of that coin is the resin printers are not very durable. They're great for printing models, Christmas bulbs, Christmas decorations, things like that. But do not try to print real functional or durable parts with a resin printer. You're going to need an FDM printer for that. And yes, you can make an FDM printer print a lot better quality than what this is right here. It takes time and it takes patience, but you can do it. So the main differences between the two, the FDM, the regular spool filament printers are going to be a lot more durable and usable type products. I've printed battery holders, all types of different things, hooks, bracket shelves, shelves for brackets for shelves, all kind of different things with my printers. So that's kind of the difference between the two, figuring out which direction you want to go. And again, going back to what we talked about in the first video, find the support group, and I'll include the links to these in the description. This is a 3D printing group on Facebook. It's a very large community, 197,000 members. Most of the people that are in here are dealing with FDM printers. There are some resin questions, but most of it has to do with FDM printers. There's another Facebook group right here for resin 3D printers. And before you go off and purchase whichever one you're going to buy, I really recommend you going and joining these groups, read the posts, ask questions. It'll save you from making mistakes with your purchases going down the road, because there's so many 3D printers out here made by so many different manufacturers. If you're brand new to the hobby, it's hard to tell which ones are good, which ones are not, and that kind of thing. So I would encourage you to join these groups and spend a little time interacting. Most of the folks in here that do 3D printing are really good people. You get the occasional troll or two, but most of the folks are really good and interested in helping other people with the hobby. If you want to see here, this is a time lapse of a resin printer. Wow. Doesn't that make you just want to run out and buy a resin printer? I mean, the smooth music, looking at it come up so nice and cool. But that's not real. That's done for marketing purposes. Here's what a 3D printer really looks like. And this is a time lapse. So no, it doesn't go up and down that fast. It's just doing it for the time lapse. It looks funny watching this after watching the other one. But it goes up and down, dipping the print into the pool of resin where the UV lights add on the next layer each time it goes down. So that's kind of the basics of both of those. This is a time lapse I really like for the FDM printer because it really shows you what's going on here. I think that does a really good job of showing you exactly what's going on. So that's kind of the ins and outs of the two different types of the 3D printers. The one thing to remember with the resin 3D printers is it's a 2 or 3 step process. You 3D print your item, and then you have to take the 3D print and it has to be washed in a isopropyl alcohol, and then it has to be cured with UV lights. A lot of kits you buy have all 3 parts with it. The thing I personally like about printing with FDM printers, there's not a lot of post-processing to do. I print my items and off they go, unless I'm going to paint it or something like that. But so the FDM printing is, pretty straightforward. The resin printing, it's a little bit more of a process, but you get better looking prints. So I hope I've covered everything well enough between these two. And that's really all we're going to cover in this episode. It's about joining the groups, finding support, talking to folks with, whichever kind of printer you're interested in. So if you've decided to come in, welcome to the hobby, and hope to see you out there. Thanks again. Take care.